Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. News at 12.
For the local scene, Albay launches education programs. The Provincial Education Department of Albay has launched the Albay Kadunong Awards 2026 and the Albay Provincial English Language Proficiency Program. The programs were introduced during the provincial flag raising ceremony at the Albay Capitol on June 1. The launch was led by Provincial Education Department Head Dr. Jeremy A. Cruz and Governor Noel E. Rosal as part of efforts to strengthen education in the province. The Albay Kadunong Awards will recognize outstanding teachers, child development workers, school principals, students, and barangays with effective educational initiatives. Meanwhile, the English proficiency programs aims to enhance the language skills of around 14,000 grade 12 senior high school students across Albay over the next year. A media conference was also held to provide additional details and answer questions about the new programs. The initiative reflects the provincial government of Albay's commitment to promoting academic excellence and expanding learning opportunities for Albayanan learners. Moreover, Albay intensifies tree pruning. The provincial government of Albay has intensified tree pruning operations across the province to reduce risk ahead of the rainy and typhoon season. The activity, led by the Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office, began on June 2 and will be conducted twice a week over the next 3 months in all districts of Albay. APSIMO head Oscar Robert H. Cristobal said the initiative aims to address hazards posed by overgrown and weakened tree branches during heavy rains and strong winds. Cristobal said proactive tree pruning helps prevent branches from falling onto roads, homes, power lines, and other public infrastructure. The activity is expected to reduce accidents, road obstructions, and power interruptions during severe weather conditions. The program also aims to improve public safety and strengthen the province's disaster preparedness efforts. The tree pruning operations are being conducted in coordination with the Department of Public Works and Highways, Albay Electric Cooperative, Philippine National Police, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and other provincial offices. Meanwhile, Albay Youth Join Anti-Drug Campaign. 76 out of school youth from Albay took part in a drug prevention and advocacy program aimed at promoting informed and responsible decision-making. The activity was held at the Farmers Auditorium in Kamalig and brought together participants from the province's 14 local government units. Interactive lectures and workshops help raise awareness about the harmful effects of illegal drugs while encouraging healthy lifestyle and positive choices. Resource speakers from the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Interior and Local Government, and Provincial Health Office and Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency led discussions on drug abuse prevention, and youth empowerment participants also received practical guidance on recognizing risk and making responsible decisions in their daily lives. The program ended with role-playing presentations that showcased the lessons learned and reinforced the importance of staying drug-free and becoming responsible members of the community. And the national scene. The political turmoil that has forced Senate sessions to arrive and at a standstill is expected to negatively affect the Philippine economy, Malacanang said on Tuesday, noting that several priority bills have been stuck in the legislative chamber due to politicking. Senate sessions have been stalled for at least 2 days due to the lack of quorum after majority members skipped the June 1 session following the arrest of Senator Jinggoy Estrada. while minority members walked out of the session hall last week to prevent the alleged change of rules that would benefit absentee lawmakers. Among the bills that have been left pending in the Senate include the Magna Carta of Barangay Health Workers, Detention Bill, the Anti-Hospital Detention Bill, the confirmation of generals before the Commission on Appointment, as well as the bills granting Philippine citizenship to athletes Benny Bothright III and Matthew James Ramos. According to an earlier statement from the Senate Minority Bloc, the Senate impasse also comes as the chamber prepares to tackle Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment, as well as looming budget deliberations for the 2027 National Expenditures Program. Meanwhile, the National Police Commission supports the newly formed EJK Truth Commission, saying efforts to investigate extrajudicial killings are crucial for accountability, stronger institution, and justice for victims' families. The Independent Truth Commission, supported by church and civil society leaders, was officially launched on May 27 to investigate and document killings and other alleged abuses associated with then President Rodrigo Duterte's anti-drug campaign. The non-government body was also described as an opportunity for a catharsis and for institutional healing. NAPOLCOM said it is prepared to review and consider recommendations that the Truth Commission may submit consistent with its mandate. And another story, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Tuesday ordered the Department of Education to ensure that all schools are prepared for the opening of the new school year and prevent the unnecessary disruption of classes. Marcos said in an interview during a Brigada Eskwela kickoff that DepEd knows what to do in ensuring that there would be no disruption in the classes. The DepEd expect to the total number of enrollees for school year 2026-2027 to reach 26 million to 28 million, with a classroom backlog at 136,000. During the event, Marcos inspected the school's ongoing preparations and safety facilities, such as the operation of its 16 closed-circuit television cameras. For the news outside the country, a barrage of Russian missile and drone strikes killed 9 people and wounded dozens across Ukraine. Authorities said on Tuesday, just days after President Vladimir Zelensky warned that Moscow was preparing a massive new strike. Moscow has bombarded Ukraine almost daily since launching an offensive in 2022. Often provoking retaliation from Kiev as talks to end Europe's deadliest conflict since World War II remains stalled. AFP journalists heard several explosions in the Ukrainian capital, where local authorities said Russia struck with ballistic missiles, setting off fires and cutting power in several districts. The city mayor's Vitaly Klitschko said 4 people were killed and at least 58, including 2 children, wounded in the mass enemy attack. Russia launched a recorded 8,150 long-range drones in Ukraine in May. An AFP analysis of Ukrainian Air Force data showed up 24% from April. Kiev intercepted about 90% of all incoming drones and missiles in May, according to Air Force data. Air Force data. Meanwhile, Cambodia initiated a UN-backed dispute resolution process on Tuesday with neighbor Thailand over overlapping maritime claims in the Gulf of Thailand, where undersea energy reserves are valued at around $300 billion. The Southeast Asian nations have disputed maritime territories in the demarcation of their 800-kilometer land border for decades, a legacy of the French colonial era. The two sides agreed to a ceasefire deal in December after 2 rounds of deadly border clashes, but they have repeatedly accused each other of truce violations. the move by Cambodia to begin the mediation process taken under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea followed Thailand's cancellation last month of a 2001 bilateral agreement on overlapping maritime claims and energy exploration. In a related update to our country, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and his Vietnamese counterpart to Lam on Monday said they were elevating bilateral relations between their two countries to an enhanced strategic partnership, expanding their economic and cooperation. An enhanced strategic partnership between nations is a diplomatic framework in which two countries agree to take a step higher for closer collaboration and synergy and mutual interest and advocacy, particularly in defense and security, economics, technology, and people-to-people exchange. The two leaders witnessed the signing of agreements focused on boosting defense cooperation, digital transformation, and tourism. Manila and Hanoi agreed to renew the 2010 Philippines-Vietnam Memorandum of Agreement on Defense Cooperation and a bid to strengthen joint capabilities and maritime security, military education, and disaster risk reduction and management. On economic and agricultural cooperation, Marcos said he and Lam agreed to expand bilateral trade beyond their shared target of $10 billion. That ends our news break for today, June 3, 2026. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. Thanks to our noon news break writers, Elja Lorejo and Naomi Hernandez. And to the technical side, we have Richard Bobis, Crystal Abad, and MJ. To our Provincial Information Office OIC, Marty Gonzalez, under the supervision of our Governor Noel E. Rosal. This has been your anchor, Anessa P. Babb. Thank you for subscribing. Albay in my heart.